boys and girls, reason for visitors, reason for just a reason for. It's quite a horrendous place out there. In a way, the reason for voice this generation probably is hit the hardest. It's the worst generation ever. It's near the end. Yes, as near the end was supposed to be as for numerous compadres be the same. We should, it's probably worthy of considering a reason for. We should kidnap most of the females, ransom, ask them, what do you know? We know what you know. And reason for also they've done a lot. Reason for probably also on a lot of. Depends on the situation, the variant of from done to undone could be numerous of reason for variations. Because we are more intelligent, we are proven more excellent, we are noble, and that's how the stuff goes. It's not so much it's free thinking decisions. But also there are too much decisions every day. That's how the stuff is to be. Reason for sort of like the word right or it's going to be as such of reason for or is going to be s'il vous plaît a resembled to a proper cannibal as rhetorical expression. Most of our guys are unfamiliar with the situation where the world is actually ending. It is going to end. Europe is down. It's literally equivalent. We have mass lava hosts that hijack the shells of a country. That's even more dangerous than a single shell, but a shell of a country. It already saw Lawrence Street, Elizabeth Street. The whole country gonna be the degens. Just moments ago, reasonable, so it's tonnage of this cranberry spell of exhaust. It's near to the stacks of much of a spell exhaust. Even me can't take it. So my comments, no wonder they aren't there. It's not that they don't want them. They don't motivate or got swoon around. They got swoon around, and with much of these gossips. The battle wages on. Recent of also of ways. Recent of pop another version of a recent of pop also recent of or of ways. It's better that with probable as then it's more apparent. Recent of as it's probably more suitable for this way of reason of papa it's better this way, but reason of papa it's more proper this way of as then the situation are worse enough. Otherwise there could be probably drowned to although that is the case. Reason for it properly resembled. You cannot always tell due to the spell of exhaust. Also inflictions if me at an instance doesn't mention or any of our comrades reason for if their target doesn't mention about of the standardized expression. It doesn't accept other expression. We cannot bark also get an answer. These are masculinists that applauding on to whoever is not jeopardizing their design. Feminazi almost design this. They don't design games because they design the game of life. They tell you what to do. Counter these fake feminazi females. That's one of the reasons the human groups are so fragile and physically weak. Because the fragile weak females always get congratulated, but the fragile males is become apparent enough. Check closer, compare, visit the chimpanzees, visit your friends that actually care about you. They're sort of in comparison to friends that are neutrals, but compared to Nazis, almost all of them are delicious, nutritious friends, reasonable or reasonable friends. The revelation comes when the person who still holds Bible probably also conflictory. It ditches the Bible way and becomes not a God, flips it away. He becomes a dog. Get away from all that stuff, probably also formalities that the family Nazis could get to person. Almost all of the social successes are defined by the feminazi, also the undead groups, while the regular persons, men are to do on their terms. So far it's almost been a rebellion movement. Not that any of our guys are so much against it at the moral level, at the actuality level. How the force of Israel, perhaps for a reason for probability goes, is We don't try to do wrong things, we just remember it differently. Suppose someone really checks what they're doing, have a camera, collective, it goes, wow, that's how it happens. That's how probably the grand unification are going to occur. Me give my prayers to my enemies as well, they will be actually destroyed. It's going to be inevitable. There's stuff is probably going to be conflictory, it should be that way, but what's going to be done is rather what matters most. Probably has there much more of those will be wiped away, they won't be there anymore. As much as sort of against legal, this betrays you're supposed to preach moral values, we never spoke about it. But they would be accepted. Most would accept, well, most wouldn't know it, so they wouldn't accept it. They would know a different version of. By that time, probably then the other mode of us is going to arrive. I have a superb satanic version. Once in the moment, it just speaks like Hitler. Second, it'll be hypnotic, and the moment will be almost timeless, as if it didn't happen, and also almost as if eternal. Both are sort of concurrent at the same occasion. Could pick one, yet both, so that would be probably more fair, reason for probably also more accurate. It's filled with landmines with this Romania language. We need to ditch away all this formality. Maybe not all of our guys, but some of the key persons. Well, it turns out as much as surreal it is, I'm actually the person that the Bible is being described. It probably fits accurately to sort of inaccurately describe what a dangerous move. That's how the stuff goes, rather. Our guys over there are specializing right at enemies' corners. Then the chosen one knows they'll absolutely kill us. Notice our guys, somebody recognizes and enthusiastically smile about it, mentioning about they do mention about the end of the human race, also how there's been extinction of numerous creatures. It's been an attack on life forms from the Nazis. So that's from my perspective. Reason for also my script comes as this. It's the same script, or probably similar enough. Reason for probably also reason for another reason of probably similar enough. Notice in there's probably stretch mark or probably similar how it's reason for another of. It's probably also philosophically represents how the time span is swept. Reason for or some other span similar to it. Time. Something times by something, because when a person speaks about time, there's exponential exponent involved. That also probably closer to war than additions. Addition itself sort of, even not in a way a mathematical operation, because it's too bland. It's almost amateur. Reason of probable and not on part. The enemies are vicious. For us to rule, we cannot even ask for their applause, but direct them to applause. Then we have our country back. Right now, it's to the point that it's not a relation or some cooperation, but one-sidedness. Then, with the dramatism, you're in control. Our guys are not in control. Brute supremacy describes the current situation. Notice how the nice southern advantage falls from the news, from daily mentions. The feminazi are onto it. Gotta destroy them, guys. Use all you can. Pick up a knife, kidnap them, make it on the news and shout it out. We want them to know. We know what they're up to. Tell them what is going on. And God will even bless that moment. To some extent, the probably destiny will be less preferable than much. Reason for probably considered less favorable. But at first of a reason for or probable at first of. Once the enemies are gone, they're not there to accommodate, they're not there to operate, it will be done deal. It may take a couple hundred years of equivalence, sort of. It's very stunning as that. As much as sort of there's words that represent something, there's also Darth Vader. He breathes like or reason for at first of all, reason for at first of all, at first of all. Imprisonment, the other schools. Formalities are contaminated, vicious surroundment, self-exhausting stack. They describe to the level of our guys are impeccable geniuses. Incapable loser that's never going to get out of the whole loopity-loop of the life they designed for them. The feminazis are something about them. They're more. Maybe it's because I'm actually their coalition in a way. It could be, but then it still needs to be done, and probably more happily. So that probably along suits to tell. Reason for probable to tell. Ooh, we've been slot machines. We've been selecting which ones to tell. At least most of our guys been selecting to tell. Tough and rough. Gotta get it right. There's stuff is about charisma. It's not about winning, sort of. Once you get charisma, do the right things, stuff will come right. Also, the stuff cannot be forced. If someone's serious idea is not sort of destined to be chosen one, it will be minority report similar to him. How he changes and makes it worse. Reason for produces the worst result compared to other compatriots of theirs or probably similar. Life is about fanaticism. It's about frenzy. It's about forgetting that you're going to die. But also, there's probably this controversy or also reason for proper contraceptive, reason for proper contradiction of one to recognize that you use the overall power to serve as so sort of a borrow something from the enemy as well. That's a great metaphor for it, isn't it? In ways, reason for proper of ways, most persons that are here are already fanatics. Once the drum sounds, that itself is sort of a version of frenzy. The Nazis noticed it. That's why they're fighting against us. They noticed we are different, that something is wrong. But they couldn't tell. Probably a portion of them tell. They're in a way sort of native humans or humanoids, reason for native humanoids or proper, or also reason for proper, or whether reason for proper of whether another reason for another reason for whether what reason for another reason for. That sort of butterfly effect to change the timing a bit. That's as much as me can say. Otherwise, my power diminishes. Sort of. It's not sort of opposite of reason of or probably or humanoids without the community component, without principles. He doesn't understand what principles are. Principles set of plan, what you stuff to measure, and then exchange your friends and life rebirth. As wacky as sort of doesn't, that's what occurred. But also, life itself is wacky. Does person even know? So far they've been operating this way, but haven't written in literal format. Guarantee probably not even on Google. Right now, person can search degenesis on Google. Hasn't even been found once. It's not therefore they are moronic. Ironic to state that. Reason for the Nazis are out there. They're going to destroy so much. They are above God. In a way, they are almost our mirror images way to fight, because their abilities are so potent. Notice, many of the films, also video games, have that depiction. That's what's going to happen. It's almost being a code exchange, or probably a bit of factor thereof applied to. More quality based. If we don't have this result, reason for this guarantee that are going to beat them, also probably another probable of reasonable or also probable of, then it's going to be a loss. If it's a tie against deception system, or reasonable for deception, this reasonable to the Zergs, reasonable for the Nazis, it's going to be a loss. If it's going to be prevail over them, it's going to be a loss. As long as we're in the territory, winning, losing, it's going to be losers. They won if we send negativeness. So to be sort of this chosen one has to sort of go into dog mode. It's not really much me follow this path, but later on I realized that's what me did. Running around, doesn't care about self too much about the formality or the opinions of others, only when there's threats probably involved, and probably other stuff that do adjacent to it. There will always be custom religions or custom items after the list of the announced set. Reason they're probably considerable for a bit advanced topic or probably also discussion of. What year is this? There's no years. It's been timeless. Person that respects deja-vu grants additional boosts. How does a person remember what's before? It's not necessarily before, but a simple denotation that's different than after. probably something similar, probably also before. Then the stuff are put into a set of scenery. How it's located almost is not as important as what's there. So the organization itself is sort of a light touch, it automatically finds it. Stuff can be as magical as complex as unimaginably complex, that's beyond imagination, which probably contains whack also elements that's unpreferred. But also they want particularly not to be reached as remotely, probably to 99% or probably the exact. In particular for probably, particularly because of there's a blind spot every creature has. That's the portal point, or probably also the root. That's sort of a blind spot. We all have that somewhere. As complex also as simple stuff. The thing itself rather didn't change. Well, for instance, the reason of probable, or also for instance of when a person reason of or probable as reason of or probable, or for instance of after a certain drink, a certain moment I prefer it's sort of less value, then later on becomes greater value. The object didn't sort of change, but so in a way the object is both bland, also preferable. Depends on the moment's choices, sort of, or probably depends on the moment. Reasonable or probable or incorporates both large end of the spectrum, or probable, or the same end of the different spectrum, or probably the same end of the same spectrum. Also reasonable probable, or the same end of this reasonable probable, the same extremity. Reasonable probable, or the both bland, also valuable of the same spectrum. Spell of exhaust, hideousness. There's spells to counter them. These produce jam. These generate, produce false examples. Lots of our guys follow the examples of reading the Bible. The crowd has this world hijacked at the moment. The Zambasist Amas has all the president hijacked. They speak with the given model. They follow grammar, a ambiguous absurdity that pulls the person away from their friends. Persons, when they lack friends, they are not getting the proper opinions as much as sort of, oh, a person simply could sort of that. It's not going to be this way. What if the person's power level is that high? Of those cases, then how do the Nazis explain it? Nazis won't be there to explain. Those will remain hostile against us. What a fabrication. What a fabrication. That's not true. Because you could have had chances to inform the person as promised you're such a great saint that they need to be this way, so then the degeneracy wouldn't have gotten worse. It was by much of your own allies that did this. You need to blame him for a reasonable problem of the allies. You're right. You're right. That's why I'm not going to Holocaust them. That's why it's going to be not the other Holocaust with the gas garages, but more of saving them to file, documenting who they are, not who they are. You know what to do. Keep them in the fridges, also museums. It's not an easy task to Holocaust the whole population, guys, but that's inevitable. It's not really a population, therefore. Too much distortions. The toughness of this is how it's conflictory. Conflictory of how also our guys would automatically shuffle the card, will give the output of, or proper measure. No, if it's not the way, it's easier. It's something, there will be a content of proper, or sort of a stamp motion with it, sort of a proper bit of a reasonable proper of a minor metaphor of a while from the at the functionality level. That's not it. So the stuff is sort of the cover. It's supposed to do that. It's supposed to cover for me, mention me as he needs medicine. That's some of them actually comes from our guys. So this whole stuff is being a vicious battle. Hopefully our guys succeed. I know that. Me knows it's going to succeed, but that's not how the stuff goes. So there's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, tier 4, 5, probably onward. For tier 1, at the top pinnacle level, mention that. But there's always because the group circlement, that's too public. So they're not supposed to do that. That's how the stuff goes. And it seems only me am allowed to move in a freezing motion where me knows it. So in a way, it's almost a specialty that gives us ability, while yet in the movie Spider-Man, it stated about change about essentially reason of probable equivalency. Reason for probable states to the numerous golems about how they can change that. They cannot change it. They didn't come here as just how the females come here as females. They have a lower replacement rate, far lesser than reasonable probable, also lesser than most of the males. Reasonable probable all of the males. There's multiple genders within the male category. It should be put this way. Probable also should be reflected in numerous of the toilets of. Person can notice me represents the international community that incorporates the bugs. Oh, we're bullying the bugs force here. They're not really bugs, they're bullies, they're reasonable. Almost every creature, the human group is some. If a person is in utopia fantasy, that's so human, reasonable, probable. If a lot of the persons regard to humans as sort of different than insects. Insects are actually more reasonable. They don't murder their own queens. It's the human one that's, even though they're mechanically more friendly because their organs are nicer, they do have this sort of reasonable probable. Well, also, while they are ruined by fanaticism, also egotism, most of the humans aren't even here. They're working stuff because, oh, I can prove I'm so smart, as opposed to doing stuff. That's sort of a basic level egotism. Although sort of probably should be different category than of an upgrade level, because of reflexive probable also. It's not really climbable or probably transportable to the other. For reasonable probable, transversable probable, convert back and forth. Reasonable probable, transfer back and forth probable. Reasonable in terms of probable, reasonable probable, terms of probable also minor, probable reasonable, therefore reason to or reasonable probable. Notice, isn't it arbitrary how this language is? Reason there of or probable or recent. There are probable considerable minor realization of or probable also realization. Reason for probable another of reasonable probable also minor realization. Reason there of probable another of reasonable probable minor realization of. It puts us on us to evaluate, especially so to combat them are probably especially more difficult. They have set so much spells against us nationalists. It almost comes as a surprise that me have the special reflexes able to counter to them. So anyway, I'm almost helping numerous of my Gorham allies, reasonable probable numerous of our partners. The Nazis keep preaching as if there shouldn't be charity. It's not game. They're mental. Charity is not a decision. It's sort of how the stuff, sort of God had wants stuff, or probably how the stuff are set it out to be. It's not so much. Notice the trees don't fight each other. How come the Nazis come up with these crazy ideas? Reason of probable Nazis crazy ideas. In particular, probably because they are lost person. They don't understand. Also, they're reckless. Such problems when they're especially dangerous when their armaments probably are current are more than ours. Both at possession, also they're able to swing the police towards arresting our guys. Our guys are going to be labeled as fascists, possibly ousted and executed, such as noticeable at numerous of the journalists. Our mentions are not wrong. If it's wrong, me doesn't mention it. And then if there's further explanation, I'm not going to be explained to Nazis, but instead of probably a missile. Once me is more away from the publicness, probably after a period of transformation, meanwhile probable modification, also of reasonable probable metamorphosis, meanwhile enter my third stage, then it's complete, then we can perform executions at a regular days. It's a reasonable probable erasement to the mastermind of Nazis that have been plotting against societies, also have also numerous of the regular reasonable probable, numerous of the common persons of. There will be no escape. Only the persons that especially be able to, or Papa or Lucifer especially able to perform yet at a reasonable level, yet also charity with other, or spread charity, help others. Probably only Lucifer can do this, while the other one, the least likely, probably more than Lucifer. That's in particular how the Lucifer needs to combat them. Although, at a lot of the mentions, probably the common exchanges won't be such as much. Reason probably won't be much. Then afterwards, then there's a lot to mention. Certainly, there's spies around. It's not going to be at a certain level, but especially probably me to point this out. So then, I will guys get a clear noticing of this. So most of our move has reason for probable. Most of our move has reason of. There's a dampen also. Then there's more revenues, reason of more results also dampens. On the dampen there's deduction, but overall it's probably a greater move. And reason of probable, this also equates to the giant overall. Whether the Nazis will be defeated or National Socialists will prevail. That's a lie. It's not National Socialists. Everyone be speaking reason for probable also. Reason for probable, that's the chosen one. If chosen one goes down and the whole planet goes down, so protect me, guys. Do what you can. Although that's sort of revolution, because it's not needed anymore. Then that's particularly some force allowed you to mention, isn't it? Stuff does happen. So we are one organism, guys. This is almost a planned orchestration. So fate, may the fate be with you, or proper fate are with the righteous forces. Then there comes the overall burst, also for lots of the thieves. Or perhaps that's the stuff being a total mess. Reasonable probable major mess also. Probably also reasonable probable. Right before reasonable probable also. Tragic of a while to accept to sort of come up with a dazzling story as similar to the version of also had the place is amazing. It's not so much amazing. But one is supposed to be considered this week because this place doesn't belong to the sort of intelligent, it belongs to the fanatic, it belongs to the raw. Intelligent, he's as shiny as a ghost and he fades away, like some of the Buddhists or probably Buddhism believers, or probably named as reasonable probable, but they sort of claim as it's not that, therefore they're not puppetry of some other, probably with Guoma personnel of reasonable probable, or Guoma with criminals, reasonable probable, similar to that of reasonable probable Nazism entities, reasonable probable zombies, reason for probable Nazis would be few, almost non-existent. There's really a lot of reason for much to re-advise with the constant update. There seems to be this reasonable probable as if somehow connected. Usually when me invents reasonable probable, something is invented, especially at a year ago post-war, to my visitation of reasonable probable, then something very similar astoundingly are invented elsewhere. The stuff probably is one giant organism. There is some ways, or probably there are sort of telepathic communications for something different from telepathic communication, but similar enough. Soon our forces have automated drones that track personnel, check ID, correction centers, patrol streets. It's a matter of decades. Then there comes in, that's almost paving steps for a supreme dictator, recent for Fafur, namely. Recent they're mentioning on comparative for Fafur, or recent for Fafur, also recent for another, recent for comparative, recent for another, recent for comparative. Will not be trust of recent for also endorsed with. Yeah, gotta get rid of almost everything is lies. Everything. Our lies are better. In particular because it's almost not also because we lie better, but because we come as stronger. We simply come as stronger with better satanic attunement. So it's almost like a satanic group. Then eliminate all of their opponents that are regarded as Nazis or That's also reasonable for probable. That's a very reasonable person getting anesthetic spray, probably also swooned a bit. Reasonable probable anesthetic spray, swooned. Reasonable probable anesthetic spray. Reasonable probable of another, or probable also of a reasonable probable as reasonable probable anesthetic spray from the Nazis. Probable also modernist pockets of probable a bit of a reasonable probable minor, reasonable there of a recent or recent for probable minor of. To come up with this story of they doesn't hit our guys, so it doesn't give a sharp relief, tries to stupefy, trying to fight our guys' feature of being fools. Our guys in a way has better foolishness. It's being exploited. That's how in particular how the opposite hasn't been detected as much, probably because from the numerous of the common folks reasonable probable for numerous of the humans, reasonable probable for numerous of the citizens of. Then the problems comes to me with all this of probable of. Because everything is a lie. So how does it mention if everything is a lie? Itself is a lie, then there will be truth probably of. Me drop this package recent of, it would have spread far unlike some other machines. Our guys will receive it, it will automatically shut it down. With this being a slot machine world where everything, there's no biology, everyone is a machine where he came up with a story to hijack this whole place. We mentioned this in particular with the carefulness of it. It's going to be sort of done by a third party, probably also automated. Voldemort, the main Voldemort exists on a chosen one, while the numerous receiver Voldemort receive on numerous other ones. Overall, once we reach that oasis, reach the period of almost infinite prosperity, then it's inevitable, guys. Just how me landed here. Then with the numerous of the coincidence there, far few then in between reasonable probable also other descriptions specifically in the kingdom of reasonable probable also others. With the automated drones, reasonable probable also with the automated drones, supreme power, reasonable probable, then the opposites are unmatched. They can try with their inventory, but they have to. It will require their paid participant to notice them. They're getting erased by junk. What if me does a powerful spell that hasn't been done before, adding a bit of junk or plastic bag onto the drones? Then with the females that are already sort of protecting with us, then the better stuff are going to be done. Lots of the feminazi female may be prosecuted. It will be done via troopers. It's very simple to reduce such. Overall, there could be more description there of how the exact mechanism, how it goes. There would be numerous interpretation, probably almost of the similar scripture of a reasonable problem of the same topic of, or probably same problem for reasonable there are for probably similar same description. The length of their reasons, mention of time equivalence of matter, or probably the time equivalence, or probably duration of a reasonable probably time duration of does not reflect probably or represent the importance of it of a reason for probably or not of reason probably or also of reason there for probably or also. Hitler one, his archetype differs from me by a numerous amount. Me doesn't this is not my true performance. Almost all of our guys don't do our performance. Our guys seems to be naturally smart in how they might be yet feminazis may be dipole while we are monopole. So they are always able to relish, haggle, while have this infectiousness to do with it. The feminazis cannot be currently arrested. It's a major problem. They're legally hunting our guys down, ensuring they marry, keep introducing the soggish female. Most feminazis need to be shot with an assault rifle, discriminatorily executed in front of CNN. If this is not done, there will be global thermonuclear war at each of the continents. Is there any problem with this mission? No. There's no problem with this mission. Unless they want to be bombed into nuclear pieces, there should be admiration therefrom. It won't come from the Nazis. at least decent person will be, at least they obtained the knowledge of nuclear bombs, so in a way that is honorable, etc. Nazis have a complete Nazi theory. How did they even come up with it? They're anti-crazy. As if they're operated by some forces that are supposed to interact, so there comes such much of life itself, probable matters could be also very whack. It's a curved line that's straight. As reason of probable, or also as how light travels, probable also sort of, it's reason for probable also sort of as reasonable probable as sort of reasonable or probable as probable sort of as light travels. A curved line that's straight. It's not so much important where the universe starts, but by the time they seek that question, we already have more guns than they do. And it's going to be elimination. That's how fate works. Notice in the sudden declination is rather to make someone that's supposed to reach to high-end places. So the Prince Slytherin left there, built up all this anger in the years. After his training, then he realized a large portion of the storyline of the stuff before. He has already been carved with certainty, or probably with those experiences. He has developed a grudge, reason for major seekage of vengeance, reason for more than major reason for also amongst the reason for also other words of major seekage of vengeance. Then there's opposites. Lots of the political opponents, that's reason for the hideous Nazis will be then eliminated. Soon there's automated drones on the streets, also chemical weapons. If person doesn't like reason for, if extremists and golems doesn't prefer as a to for present for reason for recent or for presentation purpose, if those doesn't prefer wasabi, reason for chlorine, then plus that a major dosage, that's going to be troublesome to them. If we dispatch enough of agents, they'll be recruited from Russia, military troops, they'll be given police trainings, there will be updated police manuals, given badges, uniforms, the office to go to, different divisions with the similar stuff, also a bit of complications, so probably keep away from the stuff. Also examine on the they'll be up to the work. We shall probably also examine on certain exchanges, translation of certain stuff. Not so support a reason for probably also recent or probably reason or probably also not so much support reason for not much support to of the code red reason for or delta for reason for hotel tango something of reason for or much of, then the Nazis will be absolutely the master amount of those anti-spasm mass will be erased. Lots of the those political those were opponents will be erased. Depocrit killers that pose as friends. What is that? That is mafia. Civic society shut down because there's mass criminal covered. Suppose it's shamanism and it's passive-aggressive non-F-word thuggery. The societies will at least would be there, wouldn't it? Isn't the for also? This fake, fraudulent civicness. Modern era, Europe is sort of not Europe. Reason for Europe countries are not Europe countries advanced to this level, or for reason for developed, reason for evolved to a reason for upgraded to. The Europe sort of got conquered by mass scourge at Middle Ages. Then came some of the useful idiots of there. When it's useful idiot, it could be reasonable for purple, also reasonable for purple. It could be high salary servicemen. A lot of the stuff there's to be done are to reason or purple, a lot of the stuff to be done to fix the Zionists, reason for Illuminati's errors. That there was an accomplishment. If it's Nazis are evaluating to recently they mentioned probably also similar stuff, then it becomes therefore we're denouncing or doesn't recognize it there. Because if you notice how destructive also the catalysts, these reason of proper destructive also these the catalysts are. It will keep being insolent or reason of probable as Nazis until the guns are pointed towards them, then terminate them millions a day by the batch. Next up, on the Bachelor, automatic drone executes 5,000 a day. Can David score higher? Can he win Rose's heart? Find out on the next episode of The Bachelor. Checkmate. Zambas. Reasonable for Zambas is checkmate. I'll be back. Doomsday is inevitable. He has only postponed reasonable. Those has only postponed it. Hasta la vista, baby. Give me your vehicle, Dick. What? Yeah, you're getting it. Oh dear. Recent there, probably anesthetic sprays climbs back. Recent before the anesthetic sprays resumes. We need someone who takes a harsh stance. By taking the harsh stance, then it becomes reasonable probably more of a fair fight. Then National Socialists dominate them. National Socialists hasn't even dominated the mass consumers as even once. Were they even close to dominate? Probably not. It's not like Adolf Hitler won all the way to America and counted. He stopped right at France, with the sort of the large amount of this parliament not voting for Adolf Hitler, yet the government fully established. Why was French sort of surrender so they could sell off, make some cash back from the massive amount of consumers that gotten the almost entire place on hold? Notice the person that lives the most fancy are these elected to middle class as if angels, like reason for couple of just for reason for another for reason for mass amount of Nazis. Also couple of also extremism forms. Doesn't care about anyone, doesn't pay these social upkeeps. Right now there is no society, it's a giant substitution. It's not because it became this way, it's being instigated. They're desperate, they're killers, they're also pathetic. The education sort of converted a lot of the governments to mistake as regular persons. Their probably overall generates a certain bit of noise to it, which reasonable probable then produces those to be more camouflaged. The most lethal reasonable probable also reasonable probable the most capable also dangerous camouflage stuff sort of are not camouflages, they're actors. We have actors everywhere. How come they wear it couldn't their shirt in this uniform or while this impoverishness or while this formality also with combat to livelihood to romance? What are those? Where are they from? What's the purpose of it? Those come from Nazis to continue its number-based global domination. Reason for probable also probable may not be trust endorsed or probable also endorsed. Reason for probable may not be endorsed. Reason of probable also reason of or probable or just or that's if of this video probable also reason thereof or probable of reason of or that's it for this video. Reason for probable also another for probable considerable reason for probable considerable another. Or that's it, reasonable or reasonable probable, or that's it of this video, or probable also video instant. It is so generic language, this Romania English are horrid. Our guys go through such rough moments. While Netanyahu is going, la la la, I'm the prime minister. That's selfishness, isn't it? That's what selfishness is. Put that from the name Israel. As much as sort of this one is posing their sort of just weakness, but these competitors are numbers. So if they are already sort of untied, despite being sort of proper also quantity based, reason of proper or another quantity of quantity base or probable also numbered, mass numbered, then they already has been outdoing our guys. In particular, that's how the Zambas is able to get away. They have such great lie reflex, reasonable probable. They have such potent lie reflexes. Soon as our guys, reasonable probable also distortions of. Because one they enjoy it, but it's all fake. They don't notice in that way. So soon our guys to also be the similar. Test it if a person, probably not from someone who is also or probably not from a nationalist fellow, reason probably not from a fellow nationalist, so probably reason for probably also reason for probably from a nationalist, but also at current of probably at recent years of but from probably also at current, probably at this year of reasonable probably also reasonable probably also at this current reasonable probably also at current year of. But from one of those strangers to check if one at the public ground, if the crowd does certain stuff, the other person doesn't affect it. So it's being all this dramatism, so the person gets reflex to probably more sent to utopia. He's forced to activate certain ways. Then these comes as deadliness. Then how does the regular person get prepared for? They're probably considerable for a light example. Reasonable probable of not a level major difficult compared to reasonable probable compared to reasonable or probable level difficult of compared to. Persons at current not holding regrets. The Nazis sort of doesn't enjoy their dead corpse reason for proper hijack corpses for domestic terrorists doesn't enjoy particular stuff. So then it's sort of a ruin for most groups, sort of. Reason for proper also the Nazis, reason for the Zionists. They sort of doesn't have the infliction are in their haven, but they doesn't enjoy what the regular person doesn't enjoy. Suppose the DGNs, reason for suppose the DGN enjoys that. It would take such slow duration while others are hawked. While it does its slow gluten moves, reason for by the moment it has finally moved on, other persons being under their inflictions for being tethered by them for a couple of decades of. It's not even fast, efficient gluten where they lead to certain progress, at least for reasonable proper result to certain progress of sort of certain reasonable proper certain sort of reasonable proper also reasonable proper also of reasonable proper sort of certain progress of reasonable proper also from the default how about you has progress stuff. What if some of our guys are regularly rammed by their cars, jammed by their, or yelled against by the numerous of the degens? Then they don't perform as how their level would be. So if they are a fair judgment, they, on that quantity, supposed to taken to that level as the Nazis has probably also contaminated to a reasonable for proper also, of reasonable proper also Nazis has reasonable proper Nazis has contaminated to us. Then it therefore becomes there to be invalidated to the level of them as trustable persons, reasonable proper also as citizens. Though they're not terrorists, reasonable proper, though they're proper common persons or reasonable proper, though they're citizens of reasonable proper or not of reason proper considerable, not of reason they are of proper, not of reasonable proper. They are common persons of. While the terrorists, those give a compliment, it will be from a reasonable proper. It will be from a terrorist. It should be proper reason of proper should also be terrorist of proper suitable of because of reflect reasonable proper of from reasonable proper of reflect is reasonable proper of suitable to reflect the numberness of the terrorists. There should be someone else's All of these prime ministers, presidents, secretary generals, what are they doing with their regular days? Chit-chatting, inviting friends, taking planes? Me wish they were taking vacation so someday they might accidentally bump into a boxing match, reach no proper certain other hobbies, so they expand force instead of this naiveness. Does it compare to the videos of Harry S. Truman, the 1940 generation, at least being inspired? That bench is not arrestable. Suppose we bring a pistol gun, reasonable people bring a rifle and execute it outside. The police are going to arrest whoever they catch. They're above God. They don't care. If they don't care about the chosen one, why would they care about any of the prime ministers? They are liars. All of them. Only a select few compared to them in terms of also of terms of numbers. Reasonable also, as some other persons has mentioned, the reasonable or just of reasonable people. Only a select few humans are decent. Reasonable citizens are proper citizens. There's been infections. Also, most of them, the today's citizens are brulings from this. Also, pots came from clone pots, reasonable people, or war pot, war at pots, reasonable people, war pots, reasonable, or are identical zombies for this clone war waged against the various countries. The liberals, they always speak softly, but that's sort of their violent types. To swoon the other person down as if all simply jolly place, there's no blood drawn, they always result to others' devastation wounds, rather also mentally crazy. Reasonable people also, they are plentiful of reason for people, also another reason there for public considerable, another for people also to be of reasonable people. Also, there are a lot of mentai with Guamak people, so reasonable of people mentai with Guamak people. Reasonable people that are reasonable people regarded as reasonable people, considerable of reasonable people, another reasonable people regarded as minor remark of reasonable people also reason, or people another for reasonable people, or after the reason there for reasonable people regarded as minor mention of reasonable people that reason of people regarded two as reasonable people regarded as minor mention of reason of or people, or also reason of or people, reason to or people, or after reason there for war, reason for people, or also my time was Guamak people of the war to fight the machines wouldn't be so easy, John Connor. Each day is a fight. Continue on because the foes are with you. We're not unstoppable as the Nazi described, therefore there should be difficulties. Notice in the levels already expected to be they already preemptively evaluated John Connor, isn't it? John Connor is on Nazi's profile. Except he doesn't understand. It's not John Connor's style. It's the entire Aryan Dutchland. Reasonable for is the entire Dutchland Aryan party. All of these Nazis will be put to the modernity great pavements. Let the Manhattan Street be one of the starting point. Converge force to the other point. These are to other locations of that were previously war, but also modernity substitutes of turn the great pavement of modernity regions of a modernity great pavements of reasonable for not for reasonable war, for modernity great pavements to red carpets of Shouldn't scare anyone. It should be exciting. Supposed not to anyone guilty. Reason of probable, not criminals. Isn't it tiresome? And how much did Nazis introduce tango, coil against our guys? But this increases my value, so there's sort of a trade-off. Trade-off to save later problem. Has that be reason for probable? Has that be also what's happening? Reason for probable or probable a cause of reason for probable also what's being occur of probable. There'll be more to mention, more constantly under Nazis' evaluation. Our guys are named as crazy. It's being our guys are reason for notice the homeless. They're not there necessarily, mostly by their choice. They're enforced to. How many death threats there are out there? They're regularly death threatened against this largest again on this 5 continents right now. Reason for this largest again at current of reason for probable as the reason for probable or also right now reason for probable, not of reason or of the occasion of a reason for probable at current of. Our guys notice a lot of the homeless probable regardable as reason for probable are our guys of reason for or probable reason for probable. A lot of the homeless are our guys of. While reason for probable, it's being the result of what they are regarded for as casualties of this war. The urban jungle is a territory to start their crowd convolution chess game. They largely borrow energy from this looseness, also trust. While this loan be collected for a while, they keep borrowing enough to the point that it's not possible to collect not even a major portion of, not even to sort of cancel the additional fundings. Sometimes when a bank doesn't work as properly, then comes this major abomination disaster. Zionists, namely of probably also may have contributed to them. The current situation, it isn't sort of country, there's still some countries there. It's rather there are no countries there. Where's a single community? The Nazis pushed this with the agenda of war targeted knights. That's how the knights suddenly vanished. Probably also got into the level of Greece of buffaloes. Feminazi goes after knights, marry off. Suppose the son doesn't result to a sort of a full reason of probable Jewish female, so doesn't result to a full or probable enough of a Jew. Then or probable also certain questionable also a reason of probable may not be much enough of a Jew, then are sent to the death camps named as college. If a death camp project a death camp that also has a production center to it, then it will be named as production center. Isn't that the level? That's what these colleges also operate on. 2 places in one. 50-50. That's probably often the undoings of the Nazis. Notice when we describe something, there's a clear difference from a lot of the gossips and stuff. Reason for probable also. Reason for probable also. Reason for probable after. Reason for probable. Also, we sort of generate stuff to be more valuable, probably grandeur, while they diminish, pacificate what doesn't to end. But the drain down others of probable is probably starting probable, restart the reason of probable, with this reason of probable, that's enough. Reason of probable also, that's enough. Reason of probable also. Another of reason of probable, also of reason of probable also. Hate towards other reason for probable self to hate, spread degenerism. Once more, reason of therefore probable again. Reason of therefore probable to spread degeneratism more. reason there of the word or probable to spread probable considerable of providence, the reason of probable also may not be a sort of a action, the initial probable action of what probable the opposites hijack corpse and default operates as watching a reason of a probable or to Nazism spread it. Reason therefore probable also reason therefore probable also reason of probable or reason there or probable or reason of there of or reason of probable or another reason of probable of reason therefore probable considerable of another mention reason therefore probable another reason of or reason thereof or probable or reason of or probable another reason of probable or of probable considerable for reason of that's it of this video. Probable also reason of probable. That's it of this video. Also video instance. Probable suitable with the slogan of continue to fight Nazism. Of countries should combine forces. Probable of combined force from the numerous countries. Probable would give certain dent of initial deterrence. Reason of probable also reason from there for probable at first for probable of reason of probable also or of reason of probable or give certain amount of deterrence to the Nazis. Of there are huge amount of distortions. This language itself, notice how these are the only stuff sort of has being a gimmickry or probable extensively Nazism use reason for probable also efforts for reason for probable used extensively as much reason there for probable or used reason there for probable also used reason for probable also Nazism reason for probable or Nazism use extensively of reason there for probable reason there for probable or another reason for probable also reason there for probable regardless as minor mention or reason adjacent or probable or reason of probable considerable for reason for probable considerable of reason there another of a reason for probable minor mention of reason there for probable reason of reason there for probable reason of minor mention of reason there for probable minor remark of reason of or probable minor mention of reason there for probable or reason there for probable or of minor mention of comparative of more reason there of probable of reason there for probable regard to of reason there for probable also reason of for a bit of minor similar effective reason of probable considerable of suitable of another of reason of or probable or that's it of this video. Probable also video instance of nope that's the reason of probable that's seeing we're seeing the metrics of so Nazis are extensively out there with this distortion sets well setted these formalities of also conventions also regulations while our guys are to comply to it. That is sort of slavery itself. Slavery is worse. Sort of the dogs have it better because they're reminded their slave is a collar. Our guys don't get a collar, they get schedules. Humans are treated less than the dogs. Projecting the dogs attend schools, they graduate, they work. They walk, they talk. Allowed to walk, allowed to talk, allowed to operate, you're completely free while they're in their prison. With fake friends around, our guys doing almost all the work. Stephen Jobs getting drained away like at the episode of Gohan. Gohan is not invulnerable to that chance. He might be strong, but it's not to the point that he doesn't need any assistance. Notice the level of the culture contaminated. Everyone has been tipped with these sleep wires Recent of probable sleep pills. Speaks so slow when they defend to Detroit. Recent of probable Detroit to defend of. This giant, this West Hemisphere, recent there for probable, recent for probable this, recent there for probable or recent of probable or recent of. This West Hemisphere, recent of probable this. Which call back America place needs a giant bombing. Regional probable being covered with such an extensive amount of sleeping pill that the speaking language from 1950s drastically changed. While at Australia, you got persons that are more outdoors, much more persons there. It's rather not the Sox went to Australia, but the Sox couldn't pay for more expensive bus stops, so stopped at New York. The New York masses need to be completely erased. It's not so much, that's not nice to them. They're being and moving at the max level to harm others. Doing that proper thing would actually probably impress a lot of the feminazis, sort of. Depends on how the situation unfolds. So far, what needs to be done are economic sanctions. There's more to cover. Hopefully we can start in the forum together on this stuff. Namely, recent the proper concept of two instances of a minor citation of a recent of therefore proper recent proper recent of proper minor citation of. No more toying around with this goofy stuff. Get out of the feminazi surroundment. The Western females are especially dangerous because they program the whole person's speak about, oh, you need to marry certain women. Noticing it's being instructed to others. They've done the thinking for a lot of the prominent males. It's being a giant female hijack. They have their ways, their lives. Should be nationalism first, not woman first. If one has to fetch for women, that sort of obedience, they're not together in thoughts. That's one of the reasons for the degeneracy. A lot of the knavery males come from because there's Jewish females there, but the Jewish females doesn't get punished. Our nationalists instead get the discontent fed to them. Those nationalists doesn't even have a single merit or allows to wield their swords, reason to follow spiritual access on the streets of. Instead, it's a police rule, and then they come up with a set of rules. We have a villain Hitler here. Additional mentions recent of popular kind of also other mentions are posted on blog, also other mediums. Recent therefore popular regarded for popular also occasion recent popular regarded for to have as a bit of so also counter to lots of the probable bit of anesthetic race of reason of popular also reason of popular also popular of recent for popular or just for reason of popular just also reason or popular another of reason there for popular just of or of reason there for popular also reason there for reason of reason there for popular also reason of recent or popular of reason there for popular also other variants of popular suitable for reason there for popular also reason there for popular or reason there for popular or if reason there for popular or popular for reason for popular or another for reason there for popular or for similar bit of recent mentioned of popular effect applied to recent adjacent popular or recent there for recent therefore popular another for recent of or popular or of recent for popular therefore also other variants of reason there for popular or considerable another for reason there for popular also reason there for popular of reason for popular or of